The serious new questions: where were the warnings, the sirens? Why wasn't the power turned off amid those winds? And why did firefighters report fire hydrants with no water? ABC's Whit Johnson in Maui again tonight for us.
Tonight, terrifying new video from what is now the deadliest wildfire in modern U.S. history. People seen clinging to the Maui shoreline. You can hear the firestorm as it rips through historic Lahaina town. Denny Euchert stuck in traffic, capturing the howling winds, smoke and flames bearing down on him.
You can feel the heat off the traffic.
Denny, thinking he wouldn't survive, said his final goodbyes.
My dad, my mom, my son David, I love you all.
Speaking with our Melissa Adan.
I could honestly say I've been through hell and back, and thank God they didn't want me.
For many in Lahaina, jumping into the ocean was their only escape from those 1,000-degree flames devouring a mile every minute.
You're gonna be okay, Milo.
19-year-old Noah Tonkinson, along with his mother and younger brother, waiting in the water for 5 hours.
We're through the worst of it. We're gonna be okay.
The family of Joe Schilling, known locally as Uncle Joe, says they believe he died trying to help his neighbors, sharing the last photos they received from him, showing homes, his too, about to go up in flames.
Always, there isn't anybody in the family or who knew Joe that would be surprised that he would put himself at risk to help somebody else.
Authorities have not publicly released the names of any of the victims, but tonight it's clear the death toll will keep rising.
They will find 10 to 20 people per day probably until they finish. And it's probably going to take 10 days. It's impossible to guess, really.
With hundreds still unaccounted for, officials urging survivors to provide DNA samples to help identify the dead.
The wind is making it worse.
And questions tonight about why the utility company, despite warnings, failed to cut the power, raising the risk that down electric lines could spark more fires. Power lines toppling like matchsticks.
Were there moments when you feared for your life?
Yeah, a few.
Firefighter Ina Kohler worked desperately with her colleagues to protect homes, even as they watched their own homes burn to the ground.
What are you going to do? We got to keep going. It's our duty.
Her husband, Johnny Verona, also a firefighter, had to evacuate with their 2 kids that day, but was able to listen to his wife's voice on his radio.
It was actually incredibly relieving to hear her voice.
Ina and her crew using hoses to douse the flames until she says the hydrants went dry.
I felt the hose line coming in from the hydrant, the intake line, and it was soft.
So,
and I was like, there's no pressure. There's no water.
So the hydrant ran out of water?
Dry. Yeah.
We reached out to the water company. No response so far. Ina says they're among the 17 of 18 firefighters who lived in Lahaina and lost their homes, but still reporting to work, answering the call.
They've been at work every single day.
Yeah,
they're going in for overtime because what else are you going to do? I can't just sit at home and cry.
Those firefighters are real heroes in this, of course, and with the nightmare just got worse and worse when they report the fire hydrants being dry. You reported over the weekend with it. Officials at the time said only 3% of the burn zone had been searched by cadaver dogs. I know they've made some progress today. You reported it earlier, but so much of the destruction they haven't even made it to. A long way to go here. And as we know, the death toll mounting just before we came on tonight.
Yeah, David, just moments ago, the governor confirming that at least 99 people have died in these fires. And David, tonight, there are also growing questions about the island's siren warning system. Authorities say it was not activated when it was needed most. David?
So many tough questions, so many important questions. And Whit Johnson, we really appreciate you being there. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.